Alright, what's going on, LF fam? Here with another video. As you guys can tell, we're gonna go through my back workout. Just got home, I did some back, then chest. You guys are about to see the back, and I figured I'd go a little walkthrough while it's still fresh in my head. So get right into it. First with my warm-ups, as always. I make sure to warm up everything before I even start any body part. And here, no, you're not seeing doubles. That's me and the homie both. Oh, let me take the volume off here. Alright, that's me and the homie both rocking some OG LF tanks. Haven't had those in years, so pretty dope still seeing them around. And so again, so I'll start with my warm-up. Started with some lat pull down, very light, so nowhere near my actual working weight. Just kind of get the blood in the muscle. Just, you know, you don't want to start doing anything cold. That's something you learn throughout years. You know, when you start out, you always hear warm up, and that's something I started really doing till like year 3, 4 of my training. So definitely the sooner you start warming up before your lifts, the better. Makes a huge difference, mobility wise, strength wise, and everything. So yeah, did some lat pull downs, and then I went into some back extensions, which you guys are watching now. Very simple again, just keeping it nice and light, warming up the lower back, just kind of get it firing, just so it's not cold when you start actual working it. And there we go. So I keep them both moderate, anywhere from 12 to 15 reps for both the lat pull downs and the back extension. Again, we just want to warm it up, not really tax the muscle. So there we go. Do generally 3 back and forth, and then go from there. Then we start into our working movements. Been throwing in these weighted pull-ups again. If you guys been watching the channel for a while, you remember I used to do this all the time in my back days. But been throwing them back in again simply because my main focus this off season will be adding some good back width, and chin-ups will, of course, you know, work a little bit more your width more than your wideness, and if that makes sense. So yeah, working here, did 4 sets of 5 with 70 pounds. If you guys are comfortable throwing the dumbbell between your legs, grab a chain. Most gyms have a chain, and work your way up. So I've been doing this for a while, nothing new to me. So I started with 70, 4 sets of 5. If you got to start a little bit lighter, definitely do so. If you can't do body weight yet, get on the machine, one of those assisted pull-up machines, and start from there. But chin-ups are always really good, especially for your width development. So there, that's our first movement. Then we moved on to some some single arm rows using this the bar, T-bar, right, kind of. So if you have a T-bar, one of those setups, you just put the bar in, throw some weights on. Been doing these one at a time, simply because it just lets you really contract the one side, and you don't have to focus on doing both, and you really get a full stretch keeping it unilateral, right, one at a time. So we ended up doing 4 sets, 8 to 12. I think I was doing 12 because I've been working with this weight for a while, and then soon I'm gonna have to just jump the weight up. Again, everything is progression overload. Even though my main movements is the one I mainly focus on, counting reps and counting sets, I do progression overload with each and every set in its own way. So again, this is 8 to 12 movement, but this time I did 4 sets of 12, which only tells me I have to increase the weight. So next movement we moved on to is now the unilateral pull downs on this hammer strength machine. So this is kind of just like a overall back build. Again, this is a one at a time movement. For back, I really like doing things individually just because I feel like it really lets you focus on the actual side. If you notice that when you do things together, you're not going to be able to go as far as back or stretches. With stretching, you probably can still do so, but you're not usually able to go as far back as if you do it one at a time. So again, another unilateral movement. I'll do anywhere from 8 to 12 each hand, 3 sets, and then on the last set, which you guys are watching here, I'll drop the weight together and then just bang them out. So get a nice little squeeze, do them together, again focusing on just burning out. At the end, your form may break a little bit, and that's okay, right? You just want to make sure you're getting a good stretch at the top and really squeezing your back at the bottom. So make sure you're doing that. Form breaks a little bit, that's fine, as long as it's not broken from the first rep, if that makes sense. Let me slow it down. Let me talk to y'all, explain everything. This thing is moving quick. Then we moved into simple cable row, right? I usually try to do something vertical, horizontal, vertical, horizontal. So this one is a horizontal movement, which means I'm pulling in from straight instead of up or down. Again, make sure your form is tight, keep your back straight. Overextend, so make sure you're stretching your back and pulling all the way. It kind of get a little bit of a rocking motion as long as it's not sloppy. You lean forward and then stop your back and pull back. So make sure you keep your back straight and you're squeezing the whole time. Keep the cable in line with your belly button. That's always a good guide. And yeah, so solid, you know, bread and butter movement, cable row here. And it's one of my go-to horizontal movements. And then we moved on to some, what's this one called? Hammer strength pulls. Same thing as kind of like the dumbbell rows in a sense, but this is on hammer strength. And again, we're doing it one arm at a time. Just really keeps you focused. Had the homie record for me here. Didn't have any assistance, but yeah, so recorded this one. Ended up doing 2 plates on this clip and then working my way up to 2 plates on the 35. Didn't get any more clips of that because didn't want to, it's a little awkward of an angle to get. But again, work your way up, keep your form tight. As you'll notice, I'll keep my butt back and my chest forward, so kind of like a degree angle, and then just stretch and pull. So main thing, you want to focus on that. Then we're back to lat pull down. This time we're actually doing working weight. And again, I superset this, always have, always will. I superset lat pull downs with some straight pull down with the bar, serratus work. If you guys can see it, just those two I find like it really targets your back. Because one, you're pulling from, you know, straight down, it's kind of a vertical movement, and the other one is pulling straight down, but from a different angle. So it kind of just targets your back greatly. If you can superset both of them, I highly recommend you do so. And yeah, let me know what you guys think if you do. What else we did? Then we moved on to, oh, I'm sorry, I did 4 sets of 12 with those pull downs. Same thing with the lat pull down. So I end up keeping those a little higher reps. Usually my workouts, I'll begin with the lower reps. As you guys saw with the weighted pull-ups, I'll do like 5-6 reps, you know, on my progression overload. And then as the workouts go on, I'll increase my reps ever so slightly. So first couple workouts, you know, will be 4 to 6. Second to 4 workouts will be anywhere from like 6 to 10, and then as we get to the end of the workout, we'll go from 10 to 15. And that's kind of how you should always structure your workouts. Obviously, the sooner, you know, the earlier in the workout, you could push more weight, go a little bit heavier, and by the end, you kind of just want to just finish the muscle off. Not totally, of course, but keep getting blood in the muscle. Just kind of focus on form and a good squeeze. And then we moved on to some of these V-bar pull downs. Again, my main focus this year is just to get my back a little bit wider from the back, not necessarily side to side. So I hope that makes sense. And just add some real thickness to my back. So again, I'm throwing a lot of close grips in. Been loving these close bar pull downs. Again, simple, 4 sets, 12 to 15. Sometimes maybe a little bit less, like 10 to 12. It just depends on the day, but today I did 12 and just kept it at that. So bam. And last but not least, want to keep it classic, do a little pullover action. Again, more serratus work, but this really just opens me up to start my chest workout and just kind of keeps your back nice and tight, your waist nice and tight. Really good movement if I don't see a lot of people doing anymore, but it's definitely dope. Just keep your hips really low. Again, anywhere from 10 to 15 reps, and just, yeah, that's about it. So that was my full workout for back today, and then we went on to chest, which I did not record for you guys. And yeah, so if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna keep coming with these tutorials. I think I might do a talk on progression overload after this, so if that wasn't out before this or after this, stay tuned for that one. And until next time, guys, peace.
Yeah, I gotta get used to that. Remember, if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, man, give us a subscribe.